A review of the wooden clock kit I purchased from ThinkGeek.com. It's actually my second clock. I also have their ice tube clock. That was fun to assemble. Here's what the kit looks like in a partially assembled state. I guess I'm a little bit more than halfway done. And there's some more pieces I have yet to put together and fully assemble the clock itself. Some tools needed are a hobby knife, wood glue, sandpaper. Probably a file would work better on some pieces. I also used some C-clamps and toothpicks to spread the glue. The clamps aren't necessary. There's a jig that you can build, or it's actually the first step of the instructions. You build a jig and it helps you assemble most of these gear pieces together, gluing on the smaller gears to the larger gears. Make sure you get that first piece in straight. They give you this little tool to make it perpendicular. Maybe I'd suggest you take off quite a bit of material off the edge of the dowel when you stick it into that first hole so that you can give it a little wobble, and then when you glue it perfectly straight perpendicular. For lubrication of the gears, they give you a graphite lead pencil, and you just color in the edges of everything that contacts each other, and that provides sufficient lubrication. Here's what the instructions look like. The instructions are pretty good. And that's a picture of the clock mostly assembled also. They have to push those gears on and connect the pieces together. But instructions are detailed, the pictures are good. I don't imagine anyone would have problems following this. There's 143 steps. Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit over halfway. One thing to look out for is any broken pieces you get. And when my kit arrived, I did get a broken hour hand. I'm going to try to glue these back together, and I've also contacted ThinkGeek. Hopefully they'll be able to get me a replacement. I had a little minor chip on one of these gears, but I don't think it'll make a difference after further assembly of the clock now that I know what's going on. I'll do another video when I'm done, but I'm guessing I have about 2 more days of assembly. It's a lot of work, mostly sanding these dowels, making sure everything slides in and can move around nicely. Another thing I noticed is that the counterweight for the clock, this is what pulls down by gravity to move the clock. It provides the power. It requires 5 pounds of weight, and at first I thought I'd be able to get some pennies in there, but after filling it like that far with pennies and weighing it, it wasn't even close to a pound. So I think you really have to get what the instructions say, some sinkers, some like lead sinkers, and I don't know how else, maybe a big chunk of steel, but it's probably easier to just get sinkers. So another thing to look out for is to make sure that you always put glue on the face that it calls for. For instance, here, at first I placed glue on that top side, and it turned out that if you place the glue on the top side, then under here you'll have some glue where this piece needs to slide, and I ended up having to remove that piece and redoing it. And it was still kind of sticky, but I sanded it a bit. I think that'll wear in over time. Overall, the kit's pretty fun to work on. Just takes a little bit of patience. And I'll have a part 2 of this video coming up soon. Thanks.